Hello everyone. In this video, let us discuss about Python dictionaries. Okay, as we have seen in the previous videos like strings and tuples, we need to discuss what type of concept is this dictionary. Dictionary is a mutable, unordered collection of elements which will be represented with key value pair. So first, if it is mutable, then we can do any additions, updations or deletion inside the dictionary, right? Whereas in the case of tuple, it is not possible since it is immutable, right? So a dictionary is a mutable and unordered collection of elements. Each item in the dictionary will be represented with key value pair, right? And another thing, the dictionary will be represented with curly braces. And all the items in the dictionary can be accessed with the help of the keys. Here we don't have a concept of indexing, right? Instead of index, we are going to access the items from the dictionary with the help of their keys. Here the keys are unique, but the values may be of any data type, right? And all the items in the dictionary should have a unique key. And the keys can be of string type, integer type, it may be of any type, but it should be unique. Whereas the values may be of mixed data type. In one place it may be an integer, in another place it may be a string. There is no problem with that. Let us see an example in Python console. Let me take a equals to, since it is dictionary, we need to represent it with curly braces, right? And each item will be having a key value pair. So let me take an integer type of key, colon, right, comma, 2, colon, b, right? So this is how we are going to represent the dictionary. Okay, so here also we can create an empty dictionary so that each and every iteration we can update the values also. So the empty dictionary will be represented with set of curly braces. Here the keys are used to access the elements from dictionary, since we discussed that we don't have a indexing concept, right? Okay, so here as we discussed, the strings are often used as a key, but it may be numbers also. It may be of any type, but it should follow a unique key, right? So key value pair, which should be separated by commas, and the keys is separated from value by colon, like this, right? So here 1 and a are a one item in a dictionary, right? Here 1 is the key and a is the value. The key and value will be separated by colon. The key value pair will be separated among themselves using commas, right? So here we should be very clear. So here I have given an example. The key is name and the value is Python. So name and Python are separated using colon, and a single key value pair is separated from another key value pair using comma. Okay, next we need to discuss how to access the dictionary elements. In this accessing concept, in previous strings and tuples, we have discussed that it will be accessed using the index, right? Since we don't have the indexing concept in dictionary, here each and every item from the dictionary will be accessed using the key, right? So the syntax is dictionary name, within square brackets we need to mention the key, right? So if you take this example, the dictionary name is a of, within square brackets I need to specify the key, right? So the value of 2 will be b. We have another method using which we can access the elements from the dictionary. So the method is get method, right? So dictionary name dot get of, here we need to specify the key, right? So the key value 1 comprises the value A, right? So this is another method how we can access the elements from the dictionary. One method is directly specifying the key. Another method is using the get method. Okay, next let us discuss how we are going to add, delete or update the elements from the dictionary. Since we have discussed dictionary is a mutable type, we can do all these operations with the dictionary, right? So a new item can be added into the dictionary like this. So we need to specify the dictionary name within square brackets, give the key which is equals to represent the value. So in this example, inside the dictionary A, we have all these values, right? So let me insert another new element. So here I need to specify the square brackets since we don't have indexing concept, right? A of 3 equals to, let me take C. Now let us check the dictionary. So we can see that A of 3 is added here, right? So this is how we are going to add the new elements into the dictionary. So next we need to discuss how we can delete an element from the dictionary. So similar like the previous thing, here for deletion we will be using a keyword del, right? So del space dictionary name, we are going to represent a key, right? So here del dictionary name and within square bracket I need to specify the key. Now if I check the dictionary, see the second item has been deleted from the dictionary which we don't have in the output. Okay, another thing, we can update the values in the dictionary like this, right? So dictionary name, we need to specify the key which we are going to do the updation, right? So let us check it over here. So already in the dictionary A, we have 1 and 3, right? So let me change this 3. A of 3 equals to, instead of C, let me take it as D. So let us check. See, the value has been updated inside the dictionary, right? So updation can be done by specifying the key within square brackets. Okay, next let us discuss what are the methods available in dictionary. So the first method is values method. So this values method will display all the values in the dictionary, right? So if I want to know what are all the values available in the dictionary, then I need to go for the values method, right? So let us take some example. Let me take x equals to, the key let me take it as A colon, let us take fruits, comma, another value B colon, vegetables, comma, another value colon, non-veg, right? So this is the dictionary which we have created. Okay, so now in this dictionary I need to access only the values which is present inside that. So for that I need to give dictionary name dot values, right? So you can see that all the values of the dictionary are displayed like a list. Okay, if I want to check what are all the keys present in the dictionary, then we need to go for another method called keys. Similarly, dictionary name dot keys. Okay, so here you can see that all the keys which is present in the dictionary in a list format has been displayed. Okay, so another method is, if I want to view everything, right, all the key value pair, both key value pair if I want to view, for that anyway if we give the dictionary name inside print we can obtain. But the another method is we can go for a method called items, right? So this items method will be mostly used in the loops like for loops to access each and every item from the dictionary using its key. So for that we will be using this items method. So here if I give x, we can see all the key value pairs, right? So instead of that, we can go for x dot items. This also will display all the key value pairs, but it will be displaying in tuple format, right? Okay. So next let us see another method. The method is length method. So this length method will display how many number of items are present in the dictionary. Remember, the key value pair is counted as one item, right? So here this length method, already we have seen this method in strings and tuples, right? So here also we need to go for len of dictionary name, right? So the number of items present in the dictionary is 3. It includes key value pair. Okay. So the next method is, already we have discussed delete method, right? So the delete method removes an item from the dictionary. But apart from that, we can go for pop method also. So the pop method will remove an item which we are specifying, right? So here dictionary name dot pop of, we need to specify the key which we are going to delete. Let us see here, x dot pop of, let me delete C. Okay, so now if I check x, you can see that the third item in the dictionary has been deleted using the pop method. Okay, next we have a method called pop item, right? So the pop item method will remove the last inserted item from the dictionary. So which item we have inserted in the last, which will be deleted using the pop item method. So let us take dictionary A, right? So A dot pop item. Okay, so you can see that the last item in the dictionary has been deleted using pop item. If it is pop, we can specify which item we are going to delete. So that item can be passed as an argument. Whereas in the case of pop item, we won't give any argument, but by default, it will delete the last inserted item from the dictionary. And another method we have called clear method. So the clear method will empty the dictionary. It will remove all the items present in the dictionary. So let me check A dot clear. Now if I take A, it is a empty dictionary, right? Okay. So they are the methods which we have in the dictionary concept. Next, let us go for copying a dictionary. So it is possible to copy one dictionary to another dictionary variable. But directly if we copy like an variable, for example, dict1, if we are trying to copy for dict2 using this type of syntax, then the thing is it will point to the same memory location. So whatever changes we are doing with the dict1 will reflect in dict2, right? So we don't want like that. Just I need to copy one dictionary to another dictionary, but I need to consider it as a separate dictionary, right? So for that we need to go for a method called copy method. So this copy method will copy all the elements from one dictionary to another dictionary variable, right? So let us see this. Already we have a variable called x, right? So let me insert one more. X of C equals to non-veg. Okay. Right? If I check x, yeah. So copy method let us use. Y equals to x dot copy. If I give y, yes, it is coming over here. Okay. Now let us try to insert x of, let me insert one more here, equals to right? So let us check X. Yes, item has been inserted. Let us check Y. See, you can see that we have copied a dictionary X with to dictionary Y, but whatever changes I am doing with the dictionary X doesn't reflect with dictionary Y. Now we can clearly notify that X and Y are stored in a separate memory location, right? So another method is also possible using a dict method, right? So here also we can, this also will perform in the same way just like the copy method. Okay, next we need to discuss about what is meant by nested dictionary. So already we, in looping videos you would have studied what is meant by nested loops. So similarly here inside one dictionary, if we try to create another dictionary, we can call it as a nested dictionary, right? So that concept is also possible in dictionaries. So let us see this with an example. Okay, let me take z equals to, within curly braces, let me take fruits, right? Then again I'm going for another list. There let us take name, banana, comma, color, yellow, right? So let us take another one, vegetables, colon, within curly brace, name of the vegetable is carrot, color of the vegetable is orange, right? So here you can see that we have created a dictionary fruits. The first item, the first key is fruits. It comprises of item. Inside the item we have created another dictionary. The second item is vegetable. Inside that I have created another thing, right? So if I display this, you can see that the nested dictionary, right? So here also we have a membership operators, in and not in. So in and not in will be used to identify whether the item is present in the dictionary or not, right? But here we can check the item with the help of the keys. Sorry, Y. Okay. Let me take A in Y, right? This showing true. If I check D in Y, we don't have D, right? So it is showing false. Okay. So the membership operator is also available in dictionary concept. Thank you.